you're going to start doing that shadow judging thing again and going to shows on your own time, sitting next to the judges and giving a shadow judge score until they see, you know what, this guy does, we're going to give him a chance. And then you're going to start off in the slow shows and your little small shows that you're going to be going to, and you're going to be doing those for several years. And eventually, if you've proven yourself and you've gotten to the point where you've proven that you understand how to judge a fight and you are in the upper scale of the people that they have, when that UFC comes to town, maybe after about 6 to 8 years, you might be put onto that UFC show.
The UFC, Bellator,
Yep.
One of those things.
Yep.
That's a long process.
It's a lot more than people think.
No, I thought it was like a 90-dayer.
Yeah, no.
And that's why there was so many fucking bad scores sometimes. That's why I thought there was so many. From what you're telling me and what I'm thinking about, the only thing I can think about for bad scoring is, which, this is how naive I am about that stuff, like, I can't believe that you would judge a fight going 50% for Nate Diaz or 50% for Conor McGregor in your mind. I'd figure there'd be a way you to take that.
No. I'm saying the fans, 50% want Nate to win, and 50% want Conor to win. So those 50%, no matter what they do, they kind of look at it and they're always siding with their fighter. The judge doesn't give a shit who wins. The judge is giving credit for what is being done in the fight. They don't care if Conor McGregor wins. They don't care if Nate Diaz wins. They care that the right person wins. And trust me, it's a huge difference. We did a thing here in California where we actually did I did a small course and did a little teaching thing for the media. And we're talking about guys from, MMA fighting, ESPN, guys that are, the bigger, outlets. MMA outlets, as far as the media. They came and they watched some stuff. We talked about it, and then we took them out of Bellator and we put them next to the judges and had them judge the fights. And afterwards, they all said, "I'm never going on the media anymore and saying, oh, this is controversial," because they got that feel. They understood what it was like and the pressure that's involved, and they realized afterwards that, hey, there's times that, I didn't get to see that because the referee was in the way. I didn't see it when that supposedly happened. And it happens. That's just part of it. As there's all these different things people are trying to do. Oh, let's put them in a room or something like that. Sound is a big element. It's the same thing as what you were talking about with that boot when it hit that man's nose.
That's all I remember. That's all I ever remember.
What did that sound tell you?
That his face was gone.
That it absolutely hit with impact.
Gone. And I didn't see it. I was coming this way.
Yeah.
I heard it maybe 15 yards. And it was the weird, like everything here had caved in. Something had caved in.
But that sound told you, oh, man, that had impact. Sound's important for a judge. A judge uses their ears to say, that was effective, that wasn't. And so, all of this is there's nothing perfect. The problem is everyone looks at the UFC and goes, those are UFC judges. There's no freaking UFC judges. What the UFC does is they're smart enough. There's no UFC. The only UFC referees there is, if you want to say it, was John McCarthy and Mario Yamasaki. Okay? Long ago, I was working for the UFC. Before there was, all the regulation, I was a guy that would, go to the shows and stuff, and I was under contract with them. And then they brought in Mario after a while because they needed another referee. And we were working for the UFC. But once, this whole thing got, bigger and stuff and state regulations, I couldn't do that anymore. And that's why, I work for the state of Nevada. I work for the state of California. I'm licensed in a lot of different states because if you're the state, Andy Foster is the boss of California's athletic commission. He's the executive director. He has 5 bosses over the top of him that are the commissioners, but he's the one that's doing most of the legwork. And he's going to tell you straight out, why do I put, John McCarthy or Herb Dean as my referee? Why do I want them? Because they take the pressure off of me. If John McCarthy goes out there and makes a mistake in the big UFC, no one's going to look at me as Andy Foster and say, you screwed up by putting him as the referee. But if you put somebody in that is someone that a lot of people don't know or has less experience and they mess up, you look at what people are talking about with the Magny Lombard fight. Steve Percival is the referee. He's taken a lot of heat, right now over that fight. and that heat is now being secondarily placed onto the commission that's there in Australia because they use him. If you're Andy Foster and you use Herb Dean or John McCarthy, we screw up. Everyone attacks John McCarthy and they attack Herb Dean, but they don't attack the state of California and Andy Foster, because who else did you expect me to put in there? Who's going to be better? And so, that's what the UFC looks at times with people. They try to get these athletic commissions. Hey, we will pay. The UFC is paying for my travel, for Herb Dean's travel, for Sal Diamato's, for Derek Cleary's, wherever it is. When I travel somewhere, the UFC is paying for my plane ticket. They're paying for my hotel room, because they're wanting to have these people that they believe in, that they believe understand this sport to the point where the chance of the mistake is going to be less. And so they're willing to do that, but they still can't force that on these state regulations and these athletic commissions there. So you can have an athletic commissions. We'll say North Dakota the UFC is going to do a fight there. They're going to have people that have been working there in the state. Now the UFC is going to say, hey, we have this list of all these people. You can pick who you want, but these are people that sometimes come to our shows. We will pay for them to come. We'll pay for all the stuff. You just have to, pick which ones you want. But they can't force that state athletic commission to pick any of them. And the state athletic commission can sit there and say, nope, we're going to go with all of our people. And that's what they'll do. And then hopefully nothing bad happens. But if something bad happens, then it goes back on that person. And then the state athletic commission is looked at as bad. So there's this weird balance of people doing things, trying to get, people that they like. You look at what happened in Massachusetts with the Matt Mitrione fight. The person that was the referee there is from Massachusetts. He doesn't do a lot of fights. He doesn't do a lot of shows. There's not a ton of practical experience over and over. I do usually 2 shows a week. If you're doing 6 shows in the year, there's a difference there as far as just repetition and being able to, be more up on things. And so that's what happens with these places, though. The UFC, Bellator, they can't force these commissions to bring in these referees or these judges that are the guys that have proven themselves to be the higher standard of the sport.
I have learned more from this podcast about, and now I can say, because the only problem I see is I like the idea of raising. That you're absolutely right.
Well, couldn't they just watch from above in a skybox or something?
You know what? And this is the whole thing.
Again, sound.
It is. It's important.
Sound.
It's
important.
You're right.
I'm going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.